Behold! Today we will be discussing Smoke Shadow, an augment for Ash's smokescreen ability that allows you to stealth your ally. So, Smoke Shadow gives your smokescreen the ability to cloak allies, and that 8 seconds is the same duration as the max level of smokescreen. So however long you're stealthed, they'll be stealthed. Now it's worth noting that this has a radius, and that radius is 5 meters. That's not affected by power range, so we can run narrow-minded here, get really long stealth. It doesn't affect how close you need to be to people to stealth them, although, worth noting, you do have to be very close. So what I've made here is the shell of a build that is like a utility Ash that will use Smoke Shadow to its utmost. So we have lots of duration, very high duration, and okay efficiency, so that we can repeatedly stealth our whole group, stay nice and stealthed, and we also have a Seeking Shuriken package. This augment reduces armor when targets are hit by shurikens, and with 145 power strength, intensify and power drift, transient fortitude if you want to run that instead, just that, you will be able to remove all enemy armor with a shuriken. So with this build, you will be able to remove armor from enemies and stealth your allies, and negate incoming damage as well as armor scaling to help your team, and I've brought some weapons to help you out. So first, the Twin Bazalk. Since you are stealthed, these weapons have an 100% status chance and pure gas damage, meaning you will get a stealth gas proc every single time and do tons of damage. You'll be enabling your allies' stealth damage as well, but you should have a potent stealth damage weapon of your own. You could also use the Aterix or lots of other stealth damage weapons. This is just an example. And my modified Soma Prime build. This is a viral and heat Soma Prime designed specifically to shred enemies that have had their armor removed. Viral heat and slash is the highest damage spread against enemies that have bare flesh, so you'll be able to do insane damage. One thing worth noting is that you cannot refresh smokescreen. So for example, I've just stealthed my whole team, but you can't recast smokescreen until it wears off. So because we have very high duration, if you miss stealthing a party member, you have to wait quite a long time before you attempt to stealth them again. So try to keep your team together. Consider telling your team that you have the ability to stealth them so that they will stay near you and get full benefit from the stealth. And of course, make use of your armor-stripping shuriken to weaken enemies and get them ready for the kill. Although enemies frozen by Frost's Avalanche are immune to status effects, they are not immune to the armor-stripping effect from Seeking Shuriken, so you can use that to take their armor off, even if they're frozen solid, at your will. One last thing to note about this augment is, again, the mods that make it good are kind of problematic for some other parts of Ash's build. Your ultimate also has very short range, so if you wanted to use Blade Storm, see I have it on right now, I'm going to look at those enemies, I can put marks on them. Put marks on that one, but I can't mark that one. That's not very far away from me, but I can't mark it. Although I can easily kill it with my Seeking Shuriken. If you're going to do a long mission like a survival, like what I'm doing now, you're probably going to want to bring Zenrix so that you can spam your shurikens, as you will want them for most every target. Energy Leech Eximi are also not your friends, because your only form of survivability in this build is your stealth. We are very Loki style here, we're going full on into stealth. We have a very long stealth, which is not always typical of Ash builds, and we're going to be relying on that stealth to stay alive. If you have a lot of enemies grouped together, take out your gas damage weapons and spin into them. If your enemies are getting too powerful, stealth and use your gas damage instead. You should be able to destroy enemies very easily, up to very high levels. So, I hope that you found this somewhat helpful. It is a very interesting augment, although the range is really very limiting, so I don't know, it's okay. If you want a different way to play Ash, a more utility-focused way to play Ash, then I definitely recommend that you give it a try. And these are some nice weapons to do it with, although there are many others that you could choose. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what augment you would be interested in seeing a video on next, and I'll see you next time.